truth will set you free. Trento Vision is hosted by Tom Trento. Tom can be reached at 561-319-5533 or Tom at TrentoVision.tv. Listen and watch every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN and TrentoVision.tv. Now, let's get a peek at Tom's view of the world. Here's Tom Trento.
Okay. Where am I? I don't know where I am.
You were at the BBC.
Hey, Joe, let's start in about 30 minutes. I need 30 more minutes to get ready, I think.
No, your hair looks fine.
Yes, it's so hard to prepare for the show every day in makeup. You know, makeup takes me about 30 minutes in makeup. I don't really look like
because
this.
You're making up what?
Making up what? Makeup at the Beasley Broadcasting Company. They don't realize we have a makeup room here. And we also have a bathroom. And one good thing, CJ, don't follow Mark into the restroom.
I spread roses wherever I go.
Don't follow Mark, whatever you do.
There's a separate one for the ladies.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
You're fortunate.
So.
Can you work something out where I can maybe use that once in a while if Mark is
maybe
before
you have to
us?
make yourself up differently.
Okay. We can figure something out. But at least Mark didn't eat the atomic chicken wings.
We're not actually going to do this.
We were. I think in a former
We're not
life.
in Britain here.
I think in a former life, I probably did a lot of bad things because Mark and I, for many years, have lived together in the same room around the world, and it's sort of like a
bit
penance.
whiffy.
But Alan, we told you about that. Alan Corman has been inoculated against
He's
it.
immune.
He's got immunity. Did he hear that when he was listening in Orlando?
I probably, because he listens on iHeartRadio like everybody should on TrentoVision.tv. I was with some friends yesterday over in the Sarasota area, and older couple, 70s, and they go, "We're trying to get on your show, but we don't know how to do it." I went to Trento Vision and said, "There you go." Oh, is that how you do it? TrentoVision.tv. Pretty simple. But I said, "I'll make it real easy for you. We will put it on your phone, and in about literally 3 or 4 minutes, you have to put the address, the email,
Right. Your password in, all that.
Yeah.
I go,
What is your password again, John?
Here you go. I don't even know my passwords anymore. Everybody makes up passwords for the stuff I have, and I got to call Mark, and he's got to call somebody, and all that. But in 3 or 4 minutes, a woman in her 70s, not very astute technologically with computers, was rocking and rolling on iHeartRadio. I said, you can take us with you 3 to 6 every day, East Coast time, for Don Dix and our other friends in California. 12 o'clock. I mean, we are your lunchtime comedy act. That's what we are here at times. There's iHeartRadio. We make jihad fun. I'm Tom Trento with CJ and Mark. I am in the studio. I'm not being Skyped. Am I being Skyped in? No. But that will work if any of us have to be on the road. Mm-hmm. Skype yourselves in. I was going to try when I jumped in the car yesterday driving home, and I did get the signal in just north of Naples on Highway 41. That's a stretch from here. I got the signal loud and clear, but then as I went south, it kind of died. But as I start going east again, I got it back. I was going to Skype in from the car to see if that would work. That would have been pretty cool. But I'm back in the saddle, was running around meeting friends and
broadcasting from an Italian restaurant.
It was actually a home, very nice home that has this
I was trying to
kitchen
cover
area.
for you.
Okay, that looked like an Italian restaurant.
Yeah,
but I don't know if we would do our show from an Italian restaurant.
Why not?
Our show is controversial sometimes, folks, like all the time, because we don't play games. We seriously do not play games here, even though sometimes we laugh. We don't play games with the absolute mishandling, the overt and planned mishandling of the United States Constitution and the provisions within by this administration. We firmly believe, and you're on National Security Radio, Tom Trento, CJ, Mike, Mark, We firmly believe that President Obama and his Caesars, his minions, his lieutenants, if you will, have a very specific plan that was hatched when they were, smoking weed at their Ivy League schools and reading Frantz Fanon on anti-colonialism and reading James Cohen on black liberation theology and
In between lines of cocaine
in
and
between
everything,
lines of
which he admitted to in his book.
of course, yeah. This was the cauldron out of which the socialist left that had a new view of America grew in their 20s. Now in their 50s, they have the keys to the asylum, and welcome to a new America. Not the America of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, not the America of Richard Nixon, not the America of George Bush. This is abomination, is what this is.
It is an abomination.
It is an abomination.
Yeah.
Taking race wars to another level.
Race and class war.
I don't know. I grew up in the city in Newark, New Jersey. It has a significant black population. I grew up in the Italian section, but a lot of black friends, and throughout my life. I don't know. We were there in the 1967. I was a little kid. 1967 race riots in Newark, and race relations were pretty bad then, and things sorted out quite a bit. I don't know when race relations between whites and blacks have been more antagonistic since the election of this president in 2008. He has created a class war, obviously, and has created animosity and anger within the black community. He's not even black. The guy is not even black. He's 50% white. If you do the math, his mother was white, so 50% of his genes are white. And then his father was mixed. He had Islamic blood. He had African blood, but nothing is 100%. Why do we have a black president if he's 50% white?
But he looks black.
Yeah, he's got features, but is that the way you look? I mean, I have cousins that are very dark and have sort of black features, and I've seen black people that are very white. Is it just, are you black based
Who
upon
cares
what people
what color
perceive
anybody
you?
is anyway? It's the content of what you stand
Yeah, but
for.
he's exploiting his blackness as a lever in society. We all know how Saul Alinsky or how Marx or Lenin, how these guys use the cultural leverages in society to put animosity between a unified group of people, United States of America. You've got to break those structures down in order to rebuild. That's what's taking place right before your eyes, folks.
And don't leave out Edward Said.
Oh, Eddie Said! Orientalism.
Yep.
Great book on the wonders of Islam worldwide. Where was he? Colombia?
Yep.
He was the PLO. Is there still a PLO out there?
Yep.
We'll ask our expert in the second hour. Second hour, Rabbi Ron Wexler will be here. He's not
a rabbi.
No, he did all the schooling, decided not to become ordained, or in the Christian world it's ordained. What is it called in the Jewish world?
Rabbinized?
Rabbinized. He chose not to become a rabbinized guy. And then he went and studied Christianity, actually. And he spent a lifetime trying to build bridges, legitimate bridges, between the Judeo-Christian worldview. And Ronnie Wexler, a good friend of mine, will be in here. And we're going to talk today in the 4 o'clock hour about Israel. Who wants to come to Israel with us?
Yay, we're going to Israel.
If you come, you may have to follow Mark in the bathroom, so that could be a problem.
Are we done with that subject yet?
Think twice. Think twice about that. We are going in October. I think it's September 29th. And
I hate him
then
sometimes.
for about 10 days. And after the 7 or 8 days of a briefing, it's going to be a briefing in Israel that will have some of the typical kind of religious places, but then there's an intelligence briefing component to it. And then after that, I think it's a 7-day stretch. Then there's 3 days chilling out in Eilat, going down to the beach. And this is, of course, if the country is still there.
Yeah, you were making one big assumption there, too.
And if
And
we're
what
not-
time frame?
yeah,
What time frame is
a
this?
time frame that ain't too good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's post red line for Netanyahu.
Yeah, the post-bomb red line.
But by then, Netanyahu and Obama will just they'll be tight as could be. They'll be friends like this because they're such good friends right now. But all the Israel stuff will be at 4 o'clock. Right now, for our new listeners and viewers, and we're gaining new listeners and viewers every day.
I know.
How can you view on the radio? How's that work? Anybody know?
How can you view on the radio? Sure.
Yeah, I say
because
viewers.
it's radio for your eyes, pictures for your ears, and information for your survival.
Wow, you sound like Mort.
I do.
Mozart.
I do. I'm not as cute as he is, though.
You have that. We'll do the Sharia thing in a little bit with the lady. Mort did a new drawing.
I
Sharia
know.
lady.
I
It's
saw
pretty
it.
cool.
Oh, my gosh.
Guy's amazing.
He is. Whew.
Mort,
Yeah.
if you're listening, you're amazing, and so is your wife. Okay, because sometimes the
Yes.
guys get all the credit, but certainly we know behind any good guy is a.
Are we allowed to say that he has a wife?
I don't know if he has a wife or not.
I don't
Yeah.
think he
No, he
does.
does. He doesn't.
Doesn't,
Okay, he
I
doesn't
don't
have a wife.
No, and she's definitely not Italian if he has one.
Yeah, that's right. And she can't cook great either. She can't do that. Oh, my word. But there's Mort right there. Mort Art. Now, why are we promoting Mort? Why would we do that?
Well, because we're having a Mozart contest.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Cool
Yeah.
stuff. Get those cards and letters coming in.
Yes, yes. Send your submissions to Tom at TrentoVision.tv.
Let me check right
Your
now.
ideas to have a cartoon custom drawn for you. And based on a topic of your choice, such as the fiscal cliff, the Muslim Brotherhood, gun ownership rights. That's a good one too. We've had over 100 ideas come in so far, and what we're going to do at the end of January, beginning of February, is judge the submissions for ideas. And once it's chosen, we will submit it to Mort, and he will custom draw a cartoon and sign it specially for you. And we will
Very
announce the
cool.
winner in the first week of February.
Very cool. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on.
Is this me? Yeah, I guess it is. Oy.
Uh-oh.
Somehow, school feed got into, I don't know. You know, these things, you get tricked on Facebook and all these different places. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to keep the Tom at TrentoVision.tv just for the show, and I got a zillion emails from all over the place. School feed, what the heck is that? Something having to do with school.
Well, you don't have to worry about being tricked because you can actually go to another Facebook site.
That's right.
And
what may that
And
be?
what would that be, Mark?
And if you want to check out teapartycommunity.com, it is a Facebook-like site, but just for people of like-minded positions in the Tea Party, Constitution, Israel,
You got it up?
and the Islamic issue. We talk about all those things. So you don't have to worry about Facebook, editing you and knocking you off because of your viewpoint. And
Yeah, no censorship.
No censorship, just because you're conservative. It's actually
That's
a
right.
Tea Party friendly community.
But
Tea
please
Party
don't
friendly.
swear in your posts because that's really
Yeah,
not
that's not
nice
cool.
and we don't like to read
That's
that
not
and then
cool.
we can't share them with other people.
The swearing just shows the limitation of your elocution and management of the English frackin' language. So that was funny. You guys, that was funny yesterday when
Yeah.
you did the frackin' frackin' train.
The fracking church.
I got
yeah,
stuck
yeah.
behind that frackin' train today.
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
We have a train. I don't know. We can put a camera on it, maybe. We have a train underneath the building, I think, and it will shake. And as I was Skyping in yesterday, listening, the train passed. I mean, it is so obvious. Nice place to put a radio station, guys. Right next to a train. Not bad.
Joe's
But,
like, don't look at me. I just work here.
I just work here. I heard you guys got a little tussle with Joe yesterday over gun control stuff. A little exchange of ideas. Yeah.
Well, I won't go into it again.
That's
Because-
what free America is.
right.
Everybody can have their opinion, and we'll straighten everything out right on this show.
Yeah.
But I was not in the studio yesterday, and let's take a vote. How'd these guys do?
Who's
Want to say anybody there voting?
Who's voting?
Who's voting? Yeah.
Yeah, who's
I thought you
voting?
did very well. The Skyping worked, so that
Skype worked incredibly
yeah.
well. I mean, the audio quality coming on your side was actually very
and we took
excellent.
calls too. Didn't we have some calls?
yeah.
We had
Yes,
some
we
calls.
did, yeah.
We are too cool with this. You show me any non-gigantic network radio program that doesn't have trillions of dollars, that has the sophistication of what we're doing here with a 2-camera shoot. Mike, just spin the people's heads around. Do something.
Do that flippy thing.
Do a flippy
Do a
thing.
flippy
Do
thing.
that flippy
Watch
thing.
this transition if you're watching on TrentoVision.tv. Flip them out, Mike. Here we go.
Okay, my
Boy,
face
that
just
was
broke.
impressive.
Slow.
We're on about a 20-second time delay.
A little slow on the flipping. There we go.
There we go. Okay. Oh, woo.
Oh, the Bill of Rights with bullets on it. That was gun control yesterday. Now, you guys did a great job. And then I only called in the third hour to let you know how far the signal was going. And then I listened. Guess how I listened? Because on the radio, it wasn't that clear.
Oh, were you listening on
iHeartRadio, I bet.
iHeartRadio?
iHeartRadio. You need to download that and take us with you. But I'm hearing a lot of people. Let's solve this problem. A lot of people are saying, "You guys, this is a phenomenal show. You're teaching all this great stuff. You've got unbelievable experts and subject matter experts on national security, on Israel, all these different issues on Islam, like IQ Al-Rasoli. We got to bring him
Oh,
back.
he's fantastic.
He's fantastic. But we can't watch 3 hours or listen to 3 hours a day. How do you answer that?
Well, you can download the show as far as looking at it on anytime you want to. And in the very near future, we're going to have all the audio MP3 archives up there, and we're actually getting very close to launching the new website and getting it up and actually having all the archives loaded by date and by everything else like that. So we're actually solving a lot of the technical problems on the back end. But if we had more donations, we could actually make it happen quicker.
Oh, how about that? We'll get into the donations in a second.
Yeah.
So
But also, you know what? If you're in the car and you can listen for 20 or 30 minutes, that's 20 or 30 minutes really well spent, and you don't have to listen to all 3 hours. And if you want to pick up another hour later on in the evening, after you watch your nightly shows or whatever it is, you go to TrentoVision.tv, you check the archives, you just put it on your computer while you're doing other stuff, or you just wait for tomorrow and just listen at the beginning of every hour and see what interests you, and you'll be like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to listen to this whole show today. Which I know you're going to want to do today, because we're going to have 2 hours with Ronnie Wexler.
With Ronnie.
So,
Who
yeah.
are some of the top talk show hosts out there?
Well, you got Rush, you got
Now,
Glenn,
Rush Limbaugh.
The top three are Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck,
Glenn
and
Beck.
Sean Hannity.
And of course, on this station in the morning from
Steve and
6 to
Brian.
9 a.m. You
These
have
are all
Steve
3-hour
Payne.
shows.
Yeah.
So you can listen for
It
3 hours.
can be done.
You can listen if you're at home. You can listen with directly, or watch directly, or put it on while you're doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you jump in the car and you're in from Miami to Orlando on the East Coast, you can just hit 1470 and pick up as much as you can, like CJ said. Yeah. I don't think everybody listens to Rush's 3 hours. I mean, if I'm driving, I'll put it on if it's in the afternoon. Or are there any liberal talk show hosts out there?
They can't compete.
I know, they're just...
They simply cannot. They've tried.
They pay people to listen, and
I think
still
Ed
nobody
Schultz
does
is on
it.
something somewhere, someplace. It's just I don't know. But yes, you can listen. But if you can't listen live, then as Mark said, you can go. We have a back end. We have all these shows. They'll be categorized and.
Well, let me give you an example, Tom.
Okay.
Just our videos alone. Just our videos, and not the radio
United
show
West videos.
and everything like that. Yeah, we're getting anywhere between 107 to 110,000 hits on our videos every month.
That's 3,000-4,000 a day.
Okay.
People turning to that.
Now CNN.
This is after they've had a big run and
Now-
everything. That's pretty good.
You understand our budget, which is like 0 to nothing. Okay. Now you have CNN with Ted Turner, and you've got all these other huge. I mean, they have massive cameras, massive staff, massive everything. They get 300,000 people a day. That's all CNN gets.
Yeah, no, they don't have a large audience.
And I mean, do the bang for your buck type of comparison. I mean, this liberal media is starting to go away, and it's only being funded by people who want to see the destruction of this
of the United West.
So
that too.
With all their millions of dollars, in 3 months' time, we get as much as they do in one day. And
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
if you think about
for what we're doing, and we're expanding every day. Tell your friends what's going on. This is like superfood for your brain to live survival. How does Mort have it down on the thing there?
Information for your
Information for your survival, and we'll modify that a little bit. What we do is indeed provide information for your survival, but your victorious survival, not just to exist, to defeat the bad guy. We defend the United States Constitution. We are constructionists, okay? It isn't an open, breathing, living document. It's interpreted, the Constitution, based upon what the framers' constructive view was, and then modifications obviously are made for application to life today in a minimal way, but it isn't some deal that's archaic, and we're seeing calls now for the abandonment of the Constitution and writing a new one by Harvard professors. That's interesting. Or we're seeing these tactical attacks. Is that me?
No, that was J. Mark. Yeah, would you say we deconstruct the deconstructionists?
Yes, we do. The deconstructionists who want to take the construction of the Constitution and say, well, that Second Amendment, that wasn't for individual rights, that's a militia. Well, we confront that sort of information so that you have argumentation and you can see that other people can fight these battles at a level that you may not be able to, but we can. We've been at this a long time. We'll put ourselves against any liberal on any liberal issue out there, one-to-one, discussion, debate, whatever, and you be the judge as to who has the most compelling argument with the most consistent presentation of the facts that provides existential gratification. Your beliefs have to make you feel good that it fits. We do that. And you are being duped by this administration. Do you notice all the hot shots of the administration are jumping ship?
Exactly.
Well, that usually happens in a second term anyway. I mean,
Yeah, but wait a minute. It doesn't happen when the Messiah of the world gets re-elected in an acknowledged superior position, and he says, I have command and control of everything now.
Right.
You would think everybody would say, we have 4 more years with
I
him.
think they all are pushed out because the president now feels that he has reins to bring in even more radical replacements for them, as we are seeing at Secretary of State, Defense, and everything else. So I think that's what the plan is.
So
now that he doesn't have to run for re-election, he's got free reign, like he winked to the Russian premier. Just wait until after the election, and then I can.
Did you catch that? That's a very, very critical point.
No, I missed that. Explain that.
Yeah, this is interesting. You would think, because of the majesty and gravitas of President Obama, from the peasant's point of view, people that follow this monarch, you would think that those who were in the inner circle, the cabinet in particular, cabinet position, you're the lieutenants, you're right there, you're reconfiguring the world. You touch a button and people come running to your service. You go, I need to go to San Francisco today. You're on a plane later on. I need this to happen. You have immense power at the tip of your fingers. You would think these people would stay, but they're scurrying off the ship like rats jumping into a rat hole somewhere. CJ said, maybe, and this makes much more sense, they are being scooted out by the monarch, because whereas Panetta, and I don't agree with everything Panetta does, but he did a pretty good job in defense and a pretty good job he went after bin Laden.
He went after bin Laden.
He's out of there.
Yeah.
Chuck Hagel.
Yeah.
And Schumer.
Exactly.
Charles Schumer, who a week ago,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. We can't have Hagel. He's against the Jews. He had a little
Yeah,
conversation.
he had a
There
little
you go.
talk with him and said, "Oh, he's okay.
He's
I'll go
okay
with him."
now.
Yeah.
These people are low lives,
Yeah.
man.
And
It's
I got a
scumbags.
question for you.
Unbelievable.
And now we have Carrie coming in, and it's just like, oh my, how can you know?
Kerry is like a
There's
wax
nobody
figure.
in this.
He's like
there's
Madame
nobody,
Tussauds.
There's nobody in this administration who likes this country or likes Israel. And
No.
but this inner circle that you're talking about, the inner circle is still there. When Valerie Jarrett leaves,
She's the one, yeah.
then
Yeah.
maybe
What did I just read about Valerie Jarrett? She was just in the news. I had it here. Here, lesson for everybody out there. When you're doing a
Save
talk
your
show
work.
and you have all your items on your computer and it says, would you like to restart to reboot your computer?
don't do it.
Don't do that. I lost everything I had. I had an interesting piece about Valerie Jarrett. I'll remember it. But she's his brain. Oh, what she said this back just before the election, but it's coming out now. She said, when we win this thing, we are not forgetting who was with us and who was against us, and our time will come for payback. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what she said. And if she's his brain, that's what he's trying to do.
Well, I understand who Valerie Jarrett is.
Who is Valerie Jarrett?
She is the confidant, the consigliere, the right-hand girl of Obama. Nobody gets, and she is the gatekeeper.
She's the Persian princess in the White House.
She's the
What do you
only
mean?
person who eats dinner with President Obama. She's the only person. You don't get in to see, the Lord and Master and the Messiah without going through Valerie. And she is in every little facet of Obama's life, and combined to the nth degree with him on every policy decision, every decision process making.
Yep, she's trouble, that's for sure. But on TrentoVision.tv, on WNN 1470, that means on your automobile, or even if you have does anybody have radios in their homes
I
anymore?
do. You have to in Florida, especially for hurricanes.
Oh, for hurricanes, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Well, lock it in 1470. Listen to Steve and Brian. Though some of our conservative friends are getting very upset with Steve and Brian. They've been trying to feed them some information about some of these larger UN issues, Agenda 21 and
Right.
all that. And those guys don't want to deal with this. They have their niche, and but on balance, they do a great job, particularly when they're dealing with left. They have a lot of liberals that give them a call, and the exchange is great. 6 to 9 in the morning, Brian Craig, Steve Kane.
They do a lot of local
friends of ours.
stories too.
A lot of local stories. We do some. I got one here for you I'm going to throw out in a second. That's not good news for people doing our type of national security work.
Okay.
Not good news. So Brian and Craig in the morning, 6 to 9. Then we're here from 3 to 6 every day. And we take calls. 888-565-1470. But we have sort of an ensemble here. We have a finely tuned quartet that, oh my God, look at that. Turn around real slowly, Mark. He got scared.
I heard it.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. I heard it.
Oh, that was very cool. It probably got caught on the camera. What is happening is I guess they're wild parrots, green parrots, beautiful parrots, landed on Mark's head. He's about 2 feet from the window, and they went on the ledge, and they were just looking at your head like they were going to try to nest in your head, and you turned around and scared them.
They heard
Couldn't
the
be the
snack
first.
wrapper actually
Ooh, they heard
wanted
that.
to get in.
So TrentoVision.tv, that means that we have cameras rolling, and we're simulcasting a radio show on the internet. You can watch a radio show. We're on Ustream. There's two platforms primarily, Livestream, Ustream. We use both, but the show comes to you on Ustream. Pretty good little deal. And now we got two cameras. We got you over there, me over here. We're actually, look, we can touch.
Mine breaks up though.
Let's show this. Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, better yours than mine. Let's touch, like the picture in Michelangelo's picture. Let me see. Okay, see, we're touching. Now, what does it look like? It looks like I'm reaching through the screen there. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Because it's on. Oh, look at that. Can we?
Waiting.
Oh, that's weird. It's a little off. but that's the magic of television. So you can watch this. Now, why would you watch it? Why wouldn't you watch it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I would watch it just to see what kind of goofiness are they going to do.
Well, that's true, but we do serious stuff. And if you need a serious lawyer, it's time for the lawyer spot.
Okay.
If you need a serious lawyer at 32 minutes after 3 o'clock, we have one for you.
Yes, we do. Peter Feynman, FeynmanLaw.com, Palm Beach attorney, state of Florida, national committeeman for the Republican Party representing Florida. And he is a business attorney, but he can either advise you or refer you to any attorney that you need.
Absolutely, Feynman Law, Peter, and he was here the other day.
Here. He also moonlights as an author and a radio show co-host.
He's a jock. He's a talk jock.
Yeah.
He can do that, and we like to promote websites and organizations that we work with in our conservative counter-jihad movement.
Yeah.
Counter-jihad. Somebody just
That would be you,
define
Mark.
it. Mark, counter-jihad. What is that?
Counter jihad is what all the Islamists are afraid of. That's the reason they don't call our show, Tom. They're little chicken-hearted, little weaselly people that will not call into our show.
That's
And-
okay. We don't do. We
Huh?
don't do. Yes, sir.
No, they won't.
No,
Then when we try to debate them, we try to go out, and they just will not debate us, and we don't.
When
get
we go
angry.
into their places, they wouldn't even talk. Oh no!
No.
We have been in scores of
You've been thrown out of the best mosque.
the best ones. Mosques, interfaith events, campus events, whatever. And we'll go up to somebody and start talking to them and asking them questions. Who are you? Why are you here? What are you doing? Do you believe in the Muslim Brotherhood? And what always happens?
Always happens. They run around. Either they shut us down. They get mad.
They have a
start-
handler. They have
Yeah,
a
the
handler.
handler that shuts us down. That doesn't. And we're not screaming or yelling
No,
or
no,
anything.
no.
We're simply asking questions. What? And really funny. We went up to Orlando one time to one of these phony baloney interfaith dialogue things. We walk in with like 10 people. And we sat down, we just quiet, and we started asking questions. Well, who are you? And then finally they figured out who we were. And then we're not having this thing anymore. We're shutting this down. They all left.
They all left.
It's kind of like Debbie Wasserman Schultz at
Yeah, no,
the
she's the same way.
presidential debate.
And they say, well, you're just going to videotape us and then cut it up and make us look like idiots.
No way.
Yes, of course. It's not hard to do when you have an idiotic position which simply says that the U.S. Constitution is incompatible with pure Islam. Is that true or not? The U.S. Constitution, because how many men made the Constitution, created the Constitution? How many men? It's
56 signers.
56 signers. So several of the guys drafted it and put their language together, 56 signers, but they were uniquely Homo sapiens, right? They were men.
Right.
Right.
What does pure Islam, authoritative Islam, doctrinaire Islam say about law and about
It's
democracy?
divine from God. It's the only way to do it. And you convert. What are the 3 ways, Tom?
Well, here, listen to this. We'll stick on this for a second. And this is very important. This is Islam 101, okay? The fundamental presupposition, important words, the essence of being a Muslim, of understanding Islam, is you must believe, you don't have an option, you must believe that the Quran has been breathed, given by Allah through the angel Gabriel to Muhammad and has been inscribed perfectly, and every single word needs to be followed exactly as it is written in its classic Arabic. And there are legitimate English translations of that. Now, somebody may say, if that's true, presupposition number 1, and that is true, then how in the world can Islam be compatible? And the challenge now isn't for us. The challenge is for the phony baloney imams and ayatollahs who are lying when they say, oh, we love the U.S. Constitution. Oh, Islam and the Constitution are compatible. Folks, fundamentally, at the core of your theology, your epistemology, your philosophy, your understanding of who Allah is the incompatible nature of the Quran with the Constitution. They are not harmonious. Cannot be. Why do you think the Muslim Brotherhood has said that we need to change all of this and bring Islam to America and change the Constitution. And we're going to show you a little video in a few minutes, maybe the second hour, from the president of Egypt, caught on camera before he was the president of Egypt, sharing his love for America and for Israel. You will not believe this. Stay tuned for that. But if there is a fundamental truth in Islam, it is that the Quran is fully the word of Allah, and the top apologists and scholars in Islam has said, Joseph Quardari, Qutb, Hassan al-Banna, all these leading thinkers have said Islam at its core is not compatible with democracy, because democracy is man-made law, and the Sharia is Allah-made law, divine. But maybe somebody disagrees with us.
Yes, maybe somebody does.
Well,
And we
and-
have
and who may
actually
that
a
be?
caller on the line.
And who may that be?
I think it's Saba.
Hi, Saba. You may disagree with us, and you may not disagree with us, because maybe we convinced you and brought you over to the light side.
Well, Assalamu alaikum. Peace, greetings.
Assalamu alaikum.
Friend.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. This is our friend from Portland, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Portland, Oregon.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you?
Let me ask you this. Is it possible right here on Trento Vision, right here today on the 17th of January, for us to present information so compelling to you that you go, you know what? You have convinced me that Islam is not fully true and there is a better way, and I'm going to change my mind and become a secularist. You don't have to go into another religion. You have to, is it possible?
I don't know. Is it possible for me to convince you to become a Muslim today?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well, then there we go.
Well,
We can try now.
I answered your question directly. It is absolutely possible for you to change my mind if you present information that's more compelling than what I understand and I know. But I'm asking you the same question.
Sure, yeah, definitely. I think, the best, there is no compulsion in religion. We should have the best arguments, and, as long as we're respectful with each other, I think we should have a normal discussion. And we can,
Okay,
whoever's having the best
you're in
argument.
trouble. You're in trouble. You just
Yeah.
agreed that it's possible for you to change your mind, which would mean you found the Quran not to be fully true. Is that possible?
No, I totally believe in the Quran, and I'm a very strong believer, and I want to listen to your arguments, but, at the same time, I think we can come from a perspective of understanding. I think, obviously Prophet Jesus, Moses, Solomon, David, Abraham, they're all like prophets of God, and the trilogy, we believe, was ended by Prophet